Welcome back to ESL Easy English, the podcast that helps you improve your English in a relaxed and friendly way. I'm your host, James, and today we have a special guest, Alison, who will be talking about a very useful topic: making plans with friends.
Hi, James. It's great to be here. I'm excited to chat about making plans. It's something we do all the time, and it's so important for building friendships.
Absolutely, Alison. And for English learners, knowing how to invite, accept, cancel, and reschedule plans can be a bit tricky. So, let's dive right in. How do you usually invite a friend to do something? What are some common phrases?
Well, there are many ways, but a very common and informal way is to ask, "Do you want to?" For example, "Do you want to go to the cinema on Saturday?" Or, "Do you want to grab a coffee sometime this week?"
That's a great starting point. Do you want to is very direct and easy to understand? What if you want to be a little more casual or maybe suggest something specific?
You could say, "How about," for instance, "How about meeting for lunch tomorrow?" Or, "How about trying that new Italian restaurant tonight?" It's a friendly way to make a suggestion.
How about I like that. It feels like you're proposing an idea rather than making a direct demand. Are there other ways to suggest an activity?
Yes, you can also use "what about." It's very similar to "how about." For example, "What about going for a walk in the park this afternoon?" Or, "What about a game of tennis this weekend?"
Do you want to? How about? What about? These are all excellent for suggesting activities. Now, what if you want to invite someone to a specific event like a party or a concert?
For a specific event, you might say, "Are you free to?" Or, "Are you busy on?" For example, "Are you free to come to my birthday party on Friday?" Or, "Are you busy on Saturday evening? I'm going to a concert."
Are you free? And are you busy on? Are good because they directly ask about availability. It shows consideration for the other person's schedule.
Exactly. And sometimes you can be even more direct and say, "I'd like to invite you to," or, "Would you like to join me for example, "I'd like to invite you to my graduation ceremony next month." Or, "Would you like to join me for a picnic in the park?"
Those are a bit more formal, but still very friendly and polite. So, we've covered inviting. Now, let's talk about accepting an invitation. This is usually the fun part.
It is. The simplest way to accept is to say, "Yes, I'd love to," or "That sounds great." For example, if someone asks, "Do you want to go to the cinema on Saturday?" You can reply, "Yes, I'd love to. What time?"
Yes, I'd love to, and that sounds great. Are perfect. They show enthusiasm. What if you accept, but you want to suggest a small change, like the time?
You could say, "Yes, that sounds good, but can we make it a bit later?" Or, "Yes, I can do that. Is it okay if we meet at 7 instead of 6?"
So, you confirm your acceptance first and then politely suggest a modification. That's very considerate. Are there other ways to accept and perhaps add a bit more detail?
You can say, "Sure, I'm in," or "Count me in." These are very enthusiastic ways to accept. For example, "How about trying that new Italian restaurant tonight?" "Sure, I'm in. I've heard great things about it."
I'm in and count me in. Those are very common, especially among younger people. They convey excitement. What about a more straightforward acceptance?
A simple "Yes, I can," or "Yes, I'd be happy to" also works perfectly. For example, Are you free to come to my birthday party on Friday? Yes, I can. Thanks for inviting me.
So we have enthusiastic ways like I'd love to and I'm in, and more direct ways like yes, I can. Now let's move on to the less fun, but sometimes necessary part, canceling plans.
Ah, yes, canceling. It's important to do this politely and as early as possible. The most common way is to say, I'm really sorry, but I can't make it.
I can't make it. That's a very useful phrase. It's polite and clear. What if you want to give a reason, even a brief one?
You can add a reason like, I'm really sorry, but I can't make it. I'm not feeling well. Or, I'm so sorry, but something has come up and I won't be able to make it.
Something has come up is a good general reason if you don't want to go into too much detail. It's a polite way to signal that a prior commitment or unexpected event prevents you from attending.
Exactly. And it's always good to apologize again. You could say, I'm so sorry to cancel at the last minute. Or, I apologize, but I have to cancel our plans for tomorrow.
Apologizing is key. What if you have to cancel something you were really looking forward to?
You can express your disappointment. For example, I'm so bummed, but I have to cancel. I was really looking forward to it. Or, I'm really disappointed, but I won't be able to come after all.
I'm so bummed I'm is a very informal way to say you're disappointed. It's good to know those informal expressions. So, to recap canceling, start with an apology, state clearly that you can't make it, offer a brief reason if appropriate, and perhaps express disappointment.
That's right. And if you can, offer to reschedule, which brings us to our next point.
Rescheduling. This is when you can't make the original plan, but you still want to do it at another time. How do you do that?
If you're canceling, you can immediately suggest rescheduling. For example, I'm so sorry, but I can't make it on Friday. Can we do it another day next week instead?
That's proactive. You're not just canceling, you're showing you still want to meet. What if you're accepting an invitation, but the proposed time doesn't work for you?
In that case, you can say, that sounds great, but I'm busy on Friday. Would Saturday work for you? Or, I'd love to, but I have another commitment then. Could we perhaps do it on Sunday?
So you're essentially saying yes to the activity, but proposing a different time. Would work for you? And could we perhaps do it on are very polite ways to do this?
Yes. And if you're rescheduling after canceling, you can be more specific. For example, I'm really sorry I have to cancel tonight. How about we try again next Tuesday? Or, I can't make it on Saturday. Are you free for brunch next Sunday instead?
Offering a specific alternative date or time makes it much easier for the other person. It shows you've thought about it. What if you're not sure about your availability for rescheduling?
You can say something like, I can't make it on Friday, but let me check my calendar and get back to you about another time. Or, I'm not sure about my schedule for next week yet. Can I let you know in a couple of days?
That's a good approach. It manages expectations. You're not committing to a new time immediately, but you're promising to follow up.
Exactly. It's better than just saying, I don't know, and leaving it at that.
So let's do a quick recap of everything we've discussed. We started with inviting. We learned phrases like, do you want to? How about? What about? Are you free to? And would you like to join me for?
Then we moved on to accepting invitations. We talked about enthusiastic responses like, "Yes, I'd love to. That sounds great. I'm in," and "Count me in," as well as simpler acceptances like, "Yes, I can."
We also covered how to accept but suggest a change like, yes, that sounds good, but can we make it a bit later?
Next, we discussed canceling plans, emphasizing the importance of apologizing and being clear. Phrases like, "I'm really sorry, but I can't make it," and "something has come up" are very useful.
And finally, rescheduling. We learned how to propose a new time when accepting, like, would Saturday work for you? And how to suggest a new time after canceling, such as, can we do it another day next week instead?
We also touched upon what to say when you're not sure about your availability for rescheduling, like, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you."
This has been a really comprehensive overview, Alison. I think our listeners will find these phrases and examples very helpful for their everyday conversations in English.
I hope so. Making plans is such a fundamental part of social interaction, and being able to communicate effectively about it can make a big difference.
It really can. And remember, practice makes perfect. Try using these phrases in your conversations. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn.
That's a great point, James. And if you're unsure, it's always okay to ask for clarification. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "What do you mean by—"
Excellent advice. So, to our listeners, thank you for joining us on ESL Easy English. We hope this episode has been beneficial. Please like and subscribe for future episodes.
Yes, thank you for listening. We wish you all the best with your English learning journey and with making plans with your friends.
Until next time, keep practicing and keep speaking English. Goodbye, Alison.
Goodbye, James, and goodbye, everyone.